Hello, everyone. My name is Egg,
And I'm Duck.
and we are Slasher Core. If you don't know who we are, we discuss horror movies. We discuss, analyze, make fun of them, all over them, all together. We love horror movies. Well, I love horror movies. Doc is afraid of them, aren't you?
Uh,
That's what he says. Anyways, and today we are discussing 1996 Scream. If you don't know what it is originally made by Wes Carpenter. Me and Doc
R.I.P.
here. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Anyways, we're discussing a first out of seven, almost seven movies. Before we get into our us talking about the movie, we will give you a quick recap. Doc, do you want to start this recap?
Yes. So, very beginning of the movie, probably one of my favorite parts, because this is one of my first horror movies I ever watched, was the opening scene where the Ghostface toys with our first character we ever see of Cassie and
Casey.
um, quizzes them on horror movie trivia in order not to get killed and to save their boyfriend, which
Yes.
I think is a really fun inclusion, especially when I'm very new to the genre.
hmm Yeah.
But I
What?
think watching Ghostface, the cat and chase between Ghostface and Cassie was very interesting.
Very, very interesting. Also,
But I
Casey.
like the kind of he felt paranormal because like he would just disappear, reappear. Like it was so interesting.
It was so much. Yeah, I've seen this movie so many times, but even every time it just gets me just how unhuman like it seems at times. And if you look very closely, if you slow motion that shot after he gets inside the house, you can see him in shots where okay, he shouldn't be. Or or not shouldn't be, to where you don't think he is. He's in the background of a lot of those shots. There's a little funny Easter egg for you viewers at home. Anyway, so after that opening scene, right, Ghostface kills Casey and her boyfriend Steve. And then we jump to our main protagonist, Sydney, and Sydney and her friends. They're the main characters. Sydney and her boyfriend Billy, right? We learn in the beginning, Sydney has a problem with
Intercourse.
yeah, intercourse. Billy's like, okay, they all right, that's a thing, all right. And Sydney's best friend is a blonde. I cannot remember her name for the life of me. And her boyfriend, Stu, followed by the nerd guy, Randy. We love Randy. And obviously, the best
We
character in the
love
show,
Randy.
we love Randy. And then we have the best character of the movie, or my favorite, Dewey. Love that guy.
Dewey.
Dewey. We love Dewey. Okay, anyways,
Dewey.
Dewey. So this movie takes
We should
place,
probably
but
explain their role.
we
Dewey is a
sh
police officer.
Oh, he's the police officer. He's related to Sydney's best friend. He's the older brother, and he's a deputy Dewey right now. I think in the later movies he does become sheriff and has this whole other thing, but you haven't seen the movie, so I won't spoil. All right. By the
Thank you,
way,
Buki.
yeah, you're welcome. By the way, a quick warning: if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it before, because otherwise the rest of this podcast won't make that much sense. Okay. Anyways, the
Yeah.
whole movie, yep, the whole movie bases around there's this town where really it's kind of quiet until Ghostface comes, right? And he's terrorizing Sydney, right? We don't really know why, but throughout the whole movie we hear things about her mother, how she was killed and taken advantage of, all that things. It takes place mainly around the high school, and Billy, of course, being our main subject. I mean, he was said to be the killer throughout the whole movie. That was his shtick. Mark, would you like to add on?
Yeah. Like he kept. Especially when Richie was his name.
Randy?
Randy. Yes, Randy. Um, when Randy is at work at the CD store, he points out that several horror movie shticks point towards Billy. Then
Exactly,
Stu intimidates him as well as Billy.
exactly. And that's the
Or the
thing.
intimidates as well.
That's the thing. That is my favorite scene in the movie. Quick talk here. The scene. Doc is pointing to is a scene where Randy's working at the VHS store and Stu comes up, right? If you don't, guys don't know, Stu and Billy are the killers. Stu is the other killer. But it's one of these movies, right, where I think Scream is one of the first movies to be like, oh, we got two killers, or at least one of the first movies I know. If you guys have other movies beforehand that even better, like, right, like Double Killer Twist, let me know. But Scream is the first one that I know, that I really know of, and this is the first time we really see like the Billy Stu collaboration. It's also like the first time you can kind of really think, okay, they're in this together, aren't they? Or it's like the first time I see it, because how much,
Which is the
how
first time you really kind of is really pointing towards like, hey, Billy might be the killer.
yeah, yeah, the way kind of Stu and Billy kind of feed off each other's chaotic energy as they're intimidating Randy. I really love that. But yeah, okay. And the end, right, right. And this movie ends with there being a curfew, right? And so naturally, what do you do when there's a curfew? Have a party at someone's house. That's what you do. Uh-huh. And so there's a party, right? Right. Billy ends up coming, and then he gets killed. Oh no! And then Ghostface comes. I believe he sadly fails to kill Gale, the worst character in the movie. Me and Doc have agreed, huh? Haven't we?
Yes, like I just it's because they're making a stereotype of the reporter, like super nosy, always trying to get in your business.
Do you want to
And
know
what
some?
my cohort right here rudely skipped over was the amazing death scene of the Stacy's best friend, where they
Sydney's best
thought it
friend.
was foreplay.
Sydney, I forgot. Sydney's best friend goes to get some beer, and then Ghostface comes, and she thinks, what, it's Stu, right? I mean, granted, it probably, wait, no, it had to been Billy, because Stu was at the party.
Would have
Anyways,
been
right?
Billy.
Anyways, that's another episode if we want to analyze each and every kill scene, but I think there's other YouTube videos for that. Anyways, okay, right? So, right, so when she realizes that, oh, it's not my boyfriend, she tries to go through the garage dog door.
I don't know how she ever thought she was going to fit. And
She
then, since it's 19 something, these doors are absolute door shites.
when
So
yeah,
she breaks it. It starts retracting. That might have actually been Ghostface, but it starts retracting, and I think she was actually electrocuted,
she wasn't executed, she was crushed. It kept
crushed.
you see garage doors in the 90s were very strong and didn't have a lot of safety features. Now, right, so now if you
Nowadays,
get
like
crushed,
my garage door, when I try to walk under it when it's closing, it will go straight back up, which sucks
yeah,
because then I have to walk over to the keypad,
yeah.
enter in the code to actually close it. It was really annoying.
My garage door barely opens. It's a rarity if you get it open. It's like, woohoo, run, bolt for it. Anyways, what, right? Really kind of stupid because honestly, if she was fast enough, she could have ran under the door. I mean, not that hard. Or hit Ghostface with a bottle or something. She had like five in her hand.
I
Really?
mean, yeah,
I mean, like, yeah, or anything. She was in a
the drunk
garage.
college kid, they can't think straight.
I mean,
Drunk high school kid, sorry.
yeah, they really can't. Drunk high school kids are worse than drunk college kids, I would assume. I haven't met either.
I
Anyways,
have.
okay. Yeah, okay. Good. That's some doc lore for you. Anyways, right, so the fine, right, so after she dies, right, ends up being only a couple people left left at the party. Stu, who is somewhere, I think Stu is letting everyone out. Randy, who is sitting watching Halloween, and I think Billy and Sydney are upstairs, and best friend, I still can't remember her name for the life of me, is dead in the garage. Okay, so Billy gets killed by Ghostface, aka Stu, or fake killed, right? Randy's still watching the movie, ends up being oblivious to the murder that's going on around him. Camera guy dies. Dewey, in attempts to pick up Gale Weathers, ends up almost killing both of them. Dewey should have let her die. Dewey, you fool. By the way, Gale does not change in any of the movies. She stays the same. I will say that.
Why
So
didn't she have just died?
she, I will tell you
The
that
only
she lit.
reason she's alive is because she is hot and is with Dewey. That's the only reason she's alive.
I will say this: she lives all the way to part six.
Damn, that is insane.
And so to do that with do that with what you will. Anyways, the movie ends
So then,
with
after no, hold on,
sorry,
you're so
sorry.
after the kill on the cameraman and with the reporter trying to escape, she runs into a tree, gets knocked. Well, we believe is killed, but is actually knocked out.
Yeah, that's twist.
Sydney runs back to the house, and behind her is Stu and Randy.
Randy.
She has a gun from Dewey, who is on
Yep.
the doorstep.
Uh-huh. Yep. Right.
She doesn't trust either of them, so she locks them out.
Which probably the
And pretty
smartest
sure
thing she could do.
Stu choked out Randy.
I don't think he choked. Randy said he flipped. Randy said Stu flipped out. Stu probably went around the long way around. So I was thinking, wait a minute, I have a back door. So he probably like flipped out and ran the other way, leaving Randy probably sit there and be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume
Then
since Stu
we
pops
get
out.
the unbelievable. So first, the characters get attacked. Randy is shot.
Is he shot?
Billy,
He's shot.
yeah, Randy was shot in the shoulder.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Then we get the reveal that Billy and Stu were cohorts and were both the Ghostface, which explains how they move supernaturally fast
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
in places they
Billy.
shouldn't
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah. Billy
But how they
is
did
the
it was
master.
pretty interesting. I like that they did like I think they said it was corn syrup.
They did say that. Yes, yes. Yes, he said the same thing they use for for Carrie's blood. Corn syrup, right, was red. And if you notice, obviously there's no stab wounds, which something like Doc
Which
noticed
I
fairly
did point
quickly.
out.
I watched this
Like,
movie when I
there's no
was
stab wounds.
yeah. I first watched this when I was 6 years old, so I was like, "Oh my God, he's alive! How is he alive?" So yeah, so 6-year-old me was stupid.
Like,
Anyways,
genuinely,
yeah.
like me and Eddie were watching, and like Billy's alive. There's no stab wounds on his shirt, and he's kind of. I'm imagining because we were in a call, not next to each other. He's kind of shifting around a bit, and like I'm
I w
getting too close.
I was shifting around. I was kind of like smiling, and I'm like, "Oh my God, he's getting there, is he? A lot quicker than I did." The funny thing
Eddie,
is,
I
okay,
analyze my media.
you do. Okay, well, give me a break. I was little. Billy is obviously the mastermind behind the operation, and Stu being the lackey. Stu is probably yeah. Stu's answer, I love it. When Sydney ends up asking him, "What's your motive?" and he's like, "Peer pressure," which fair.
That was
I
pretty funny. Also,
props.
he sounded kind of on this. He kind of sounds like he's on the spectrum from how he acted.
He doesn't
Because
sound
like
okay.
his way he talks kind of sounds odd.
The way I think he's okay, the way they describe him later and on in the movies is like a real is like a Looney Tune sort of thing. Like I think like he's supposed to act chaotic and like unnatural. That's that's a Matthew Lillard take to oppose Billy's sternness and seriousness, have Stu being chaotic and kind of does whatever he feels like, which you do see in his
I
kill
mean, Billy was
styles.
hella mad after Stu stabbed a bit too deep and like damn near killed him
Yeah, so Billy in return, what does he do? He stabs Stu back, leaving Stu to
several times.
yeah, yeah. And then Stu says
Like
these
he was on the
awesome
verge of death. The reason they were doing this was they were going to pin the murder on the Ghostface,
yes.
like
Oh,
showing they weren't the Ghostface by having their injuries.
yes. They were gonna frame it on Sydney's father, right? He went mad after the death of his wife, which we will talk about later. And right, and leaving Stu and Billy, although I do think Billy would have ended up killing Stu, like actually killing him, leaving like later,
I think
leaving
Stu would have just bled out because like
probably.
he said he was feeling really woozy. I'm pretty sure he would have
Yeah.
bled out if the paramedics hadn't arrived.
Yeah. Yeah. Although
Unless Stu is dead. I don't know
there
if Stu's dead.
there is some theories saying that he's alive because like the whole fandom thinks that okay, he's alive because there's some people who've analyzed it and says those TVs cannot crush a human being because he
Oh
got
yeah, I
crushed
forgot that happened.
electrocuted. Yeah, yeah. That's how he dies. Sydney pushes a TV on his stew. Do I think he's dead? Mark, do you want to hear my opinion?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's dead. I do believe he will. I think he might come back and Scream 7. That's just what I think. Um, but yeah, as
He would
someone
be
who's
heavily scarred because like those box TVs weighed like how small that one was. It's probably like 50, 60 pounds.
yeah, those things were heavy, but they were built. I I heard that they were built like a brick. Like those things were supposed to be solid. So maybe if it did, right. If it,
If he's alive, he probably lost an eye and is heavily scarred.
yeah.
And probably he has burns along his face because we did see he was electrocuted.
Yes. Okay. Right. Yes. So the movie, I believe, Randy ends up surviving. So does Dewey, the goat. Gail, sadly, and Sydney, obviously, since she's main character. They all end up surviving after um after Billy ends up dying via umbrella, and that
Wonderful.
is
Billy
wonderful.
didn't die via umbrella.
Okay, well, he was stabbed via umbrella and
Randy,
finished.
yeah, because they did the funny fake out bit that
Yes.
Randy was even like, "This is the part where the killer comes back alive for one last scare." Billy does that, and immediately
Yes.
shot in the head by
That's why.
Sydney.
That is why I love Randy more. Probably again,
Sydney got that blicky.
Sydney. Love. I
That's what I
love
said.
that you.
Sydney.
Oh, I thought you said Sandy.
No, Sydney got that blicky.
Yeah, she does. Okay. So, so we now are gonna.
Finally, a horror movie character that uses their Second Amendment right.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I do love a character who knows how to actually use a gun, unlike Gale, who, by the way, does
Gail does
fail
not
to
know how
use.
to use.
She does fail. She does fail because she doesn't turn off the safety. And then I think Billy realized that, which is why when Billy walked up to her in such confidence, he was like he knew exactly that she does not know how to use that thing. Which, by
I
the
mean,
way,
I'm pretty sure if you looked at the gun close enough, you could have seen safety was off.
you're probably you, yeah. Okay, so I do want to analyze like this, right, these details a little bit closely. Starting, we're gonna go back to the opening kill scene with Casey, probably my most favorite because I
Oh, I loved how they strung up the body.
I love he made a presentation, which I love. I also love okay, I did my
He also did
research.
that to the principal.
He did, right? We didn't see it, but there were some kids who were like, "Guys, the principal was strung up in the I think it was the
On the
football
pimple.
field." Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
when the rest of the characters who gladly left. So they were good. Although, okay, so we did look into it, right? Casey, I think it was the poster for this movie, right? It was the poster of her face. So before there was a trailer, I don't know if there were I don't know how trailers worked back in the 90s, but everyone thought, okay, so this character is the main character, right? That's what people thought until plot twist, Wes Carpenter had her become the opening kill scene to add that layer of like suspense and like surprise, which honestly is awesome. Love you, Wes Carpenter. Which I do think
I
is
did
really
like
cool.
that they did actually make it so because I'm pretty sure they emphasized that Stu and Billy do hang around the horror movie section a lot
They
because
do.
I'm pretty sure it was Billy on the phone knew horror movie trivia.
No, yes. That's one of the things. They were influenced, or at least there's a lot of theories out there saying they were influenced
Billy did
by
say
horror
horror
movies.
movies don't make serial killers. They just make them more creative.
Yeah, which love that line, by the way. Awesome line right there. So,
Ooh, I can't believe we're skipping around this much, but when Sydney gets the Ghostface costume,
that's cool. That's cool. And when she speaks, and when she speaks through
uses Billy method of using a voice changer and the
yes.
phone.
Fun fact, by the way, the actor who plays the voice changer guy, the actors were not allowed to see him. They like the whole original cast never saw the actual guy, which by the way, it's the same guy throughout every single Scream movie. Same guy who does the "Do you like scary movies" voice, right? Always the same guy. And the original actors did not see him until years later. He was never allowed to be seen to create the extra fear from to the actors. So it made it more so when you looked at Terrified, that's that's their genuine reactions. When Drew Barrymore looks at that screen, it's like, oh my god, part of her is probably actually scared.
Oh, the voice actor is Roger L. Jackson.
Yes, love that voice. prop the most iconic voice. Also because all the other iconic serial killers don't really speak. I mean, in movies.
I mean, the only other one I think that really speaks is Freddy, but I don't really
Freddy
like Freddy.
Freddy just kind of makes fun of you. That's his whole shtick, which is another thing we will review not Friday the 13th. Wrong movie. We will review Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th too. Maybe. I don't know. That's a little bit more on the not appropriate side of the plot. Have you seen Friday the 13th?
Uh, I've seen bits and pieces.
Do you know? Okay, okay. We can discuss this later. But yeah, anyways, back to Scream. Okay, I do want to continue talking about the opening. Or actually, anything anything else you'd like to talk about the opening kill scene?
So opening kill scene. Let's see what else was there that was interesting that I actually picked up on.
It was pretty.
Um, Obviously you see him throughout. Like you can see him behind. Um, Outside. Uh, you can see him in scenes you didn't think he'd be there. Then
Yeah.
the classic stupid horror movie character
Yes.
of where she didn't run.
Which the funny thing is, Ghostface comments on this on how much of an idiot she's being. She goes to she hangs up the phone. This scene is hilarious. And then the door knocks, I believe. And she goes, "Hello, who's there?" And then the phone starts ringing and she jumps, right? And she goes to answer the phone and he's like, "Are you an idiot?
The
Have
progressive
you ever seen a
build
horror
up. I do like the
Yeah,
progressive build up. Like originally he makes it sound like he calls by accident, then gets a bit more angry after she hangs up on him, and then when she tries again, he, he yells and says, "I'm gonna get you like a fish."
iconic line. If you get this one more time, I'm gonna gut you like a fish. I love that line. I should get that on a t-shirt.
That would
But
be a good T-shirt.
that would be cool. Okay, next I
Russell
want to
would love that
he would. Birthday idea? Okay, next I want to talk about
birthday idea.
is the backstory to this all. If you're wondering, right, wondering why would two teenagers randomly kill people, the backstory goes back to before the movie, which actually we do hear Sydney and Gail talk about. Sydney's mother was killed, right, a year prior to that. Actually, almost exactly a year prior to the movie. Sydney's mother was killed and harassed, right, and
Was sexually assaulted.
sexually assaulted and then killed. And Sydney blames it on this guy, I can't remember his name, but then later we find out it was Stu and Billy who who did that, right? Right? And obviously if you want to know more about the murder, that is in the second movie, but the point is Sydney's mother and Billy's father were having an affair, right? Billy does not like that. He's now my
He
guess.
blames Sydney's mother for why his parents got a divorce.
Yeah, yeah. And he kills her, right? And it starts this long rampage, right? And he waits. He takes his time. Very patient guy, by the way. He, pa-
Mm.
he, right. He's patient. He waits almost a whole year before he starts his killing back up again. Okay, and yeah.
Which
Anything
was
else
to
like to add on?
kill everyone close to Sydney and Sydney
Yes, yes.
while
That.
framing her father.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now a little bit to talk about Gail. As a matter of fact, the amount of times they could have just killed her off because probably one of the worst actually the worst character. Anytime she gets punched, because she doesn't get punched right in the face, I smile in joy. Do not like her character. Good actress, good at making me annoyed, but no, Gail, go away.
You should only ever hate the character, never the actor.
Never the actor. I'll never.
If you
Yes,
genuinely hate a character with all of your soul, you should congratulate the actor with that.
yeah, you
Because they
should
managed to
100%.
play them right enough to where you feel real emotion.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, although, okay, another character that I loved was Randy, and his random throughout the movie he gives these random exposition plots, right? Because they're trying to say that hey, this guy's the movie nerd, and you'll say things like this and this will happen, and then it happens in the movie, kind of like okay. kind of like the movie, kind of like Wes Carpenter was making fun of like horror movies using Randy, which I do kind of think is really cool, especially since there is a movie, Scary Movie, which is a spoof of Scream, and Scream is kind of a spoof of your everyday horror movie.
I've seen lots of clips of Scary Movie online, and it's genuinely hilarious.
That movie is hilarious. Warning,
We will
children.
probably do that for a April Fool's episode,
Yes.
just so you know.
Actually, I've never seen the full movie of Scary Movie, so it'd be a first for me too. Okay. So, and then and then before we change to everyone's favorite, the killers, I do want to talk about Dewey and how much of a well-written character he is, especially if you've seen the later movies. You can definitely see that they definitely went with the okay, this is an immature cop. He does things maybe he shouldn't have done, but he's learning, but he's still really good character. Anything like to say?
I like Dewey.
He likes Dewey. Dewey, in the film, they establish a curfew, um, uh, um, and then, and, oh, sorry, lost my train of thought. They establish a curfew, right? And then Stu decides to have a party. Dewey, on the other hand, he knows about the party. It's after curfew, and and he lets them go. He even walks in. He grabs a beer, which, by the way, if anyone caught the footage to that, Dewey could go down. So yeah, that's something I like to talk about. How I like to, yeah, I really love the immaturity they take, and especially later on how mature and real he gets through via trauma. Okay,
Pardon?
next the killers. Mark, would you like to open up this discussion?
Um, so until you find there's actually two killers, Ghostface seems mystical in nature. He feels like more of a paranormal entity because you see him move impossibly fast, disappear into nothingness, yet appear from another angle almost immediately.
It's amazing, especially
I
since
a good and we're always seeing it from the hunted's perspective, so we see what they see,
they see,
which is a
yeah,
great way to always put a chase. Because if you're trying to make your hunter terrifying, make him so you don't know anything, almost anything about him.
yeah, yes, I 100%
Good
agree. If
example, the the principal kill scene.
Pittsburgh, ooh, 100%. That half of almost all
It,
of that
it
kill scene.
itself is not that interesting, but the cat and mouse play is incredibly interesting.
And the music too, the suspense build up and the shots, the close-up shot and the principal and the music gets more and more suspenseful and then it stops, camera pans out and then first time watchers will be like any second now. And then you start to relax and then boom, death. Although I do think it'd be funny to see it if they showed us like Ghostface like trying to like drag him out and like how heavy he is, like trying to hang him up on the football field. I mean, I'm curious where
That
they
would
hang him
be a
up.
bit too comedic for the tone the movie was going for, but
You're
I would
right.
love to see that.
You're 100. You're right. Anything if if they showed any part of like Ghostface like outside of him killing, it'd be pretty. It'd be funny. I just thought of in the movie you can see Ghostface kind of like peering around in broad daylight. I like to think like some people just kind of saw like outside of like when he's stalking people, just walking around the sunlight, right? He's like, "Damn, it's hot. Oh shoot, I see them." Like backs up into a bush, like, "Damn, it's hot in here." Like I'm picturing it's a hot costume.
Okay,
That's just a little funny, I think of. But yeah,
thanks.
but yeah. Any character specific, Billy specifically. Do you want to talk about him? How his like his whole shtick? Because he's insane. He's obsessed with horror
Um,
movies.
I think he is an incredibly interesting character. I don't agree with his stance on why he killed Sydney's mother. I don't
Yeah,
really think
yeah.
because
Well,
if your father's already prone to cheating, it's not. It doesn't matter if it was this one woman.
yeah, yeah. It could have been anyone. Darn, my water's empty. And yeah, yeah. Billy blames it on the movies, which okay is dumb when you first think about it, but it's not completely fictional. There are cases of real serial killers, right, being or like real people being being what's the word I'm looking for? Um
Molded,
yeah, molded by
influence.
yeah, influenced by movies. There was I think a couple years ago there was these two teens, I don't remember what state, but they were watching a movie and that influenced them to had to go do a school shooting, by the way, and then they blamed it on the movie and they pleaded insanity. I think they still ended up going to jail since
Personal
the judge
opinion,
was like,
real
yeah, right,
quick.
yeah,
So that it in itself, letting children, because this sense of school shooter is most likely be underage kids.
most likely.
If he, it is the parent's responsibility to monitor the media your kids watch.
Yes, please, please, if you're anyone, if you're a child, especially if you're especially right 16 or younger or at any age, please watch what your child is watching. Be careful what you watch online. Yes, yes, this is a fun movie we're making it out to be, but it can be very serious. Do not do anything you see online in real life. Don't pull a stupid. Don't pull a doc.
You won't be as successful as me.
You will not be as successful as us. Okay. Another
Because
thing.
I have so many bodies.
Yeah, we have so
Admissible in court.
many misleading.
That's
Okay.
gotta make sure I don't get.
I want to talk about Stu next, and actually the lackey. Stu has a very, if you look, Stu has a very different kill style compared to Billy. Like I like like you can,
Billy's been a lot more methodical.
yeah. Stu is, I believe, Stu is the one who wipes off the bloody knife. I believe most time in the shots. Anytime you see
Which
this
is
guy,
so iconic.
it's iconic.
I
Thank
mean,
you,
it
Stu.
made
Thank
it
you, Matthew
into
Lillard.
Dead by Daylight.
They did. Ooh, yes. Thank you, Matthew Lillard, for that. Yeah, I think Stu. Okay, if I'm correct, right? It's been right. I might have to double check me, but Stu goes for the power. Billy goes for the blood. Right? Stu kind of does this thing where
I
he
feel like
raises.
they're both definitely stealthy. But I feel like um, Billy is more likely the stealthy one because I'm pretty sure Stu's impulsive enough to where he probably wouldn't succeed as much.
100%. Stu probably did most of Billy's dirty work for him under of course being supervised since Stu was the well, excuse me guys, Stu was the lackey. He did whatever Billy said for some reason. And wait, and and through his comedy and and from most movie being unexpected makes him a really good killer. Just yeah, really good lackey. If you need a lackey, go for Stu. I'd go. I'd join that advertisement. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. All right. Anything else you'd like to discuss, Mark?
Let's see. Let me look through my notes real quick and see if there's anything we didn't touch on. We have not touched on things we would like to change.
Okay. 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 Things had to
Oh, so let's
change.
start with the things I would like to change. There's
All
like
right.
really two. One, Gail,
Yeah. One
because
Gale.
as her character, it just it's really good. It's a really good character. I just genuinely hate him, and I would like them changed to be slightly less annoying.
Fair.
The other one, I would I this is kind of out there a bit, but I want to see more of this like stopping from Ghostface's perspective because
That'd be
that
cool.
kind of it'd be cool, but it'd be kind of hard to actually make it so you as an audience is also scared because you are watching from their eyes, so you know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Being
Ooh,
in the
yeah.
hunted point of view is a lot more interesting.
That's yeah. It's definitely something you don't see too often. Being in the hunter's point of view. The only time you really see it is if you're watching like an 80s horror movie or like a
They will
A24 horror
sometimes
movie.
like you sometimes see from the killer's perspective of them watching the house. Like you know that they're there ready to
Yes.
pounce. But we don't
Yes.
ever get to see like actual like their methodicalness of how they approach the situation.
You really don't. You really don't. Not in Scream anyways. There is in a lot like obviously in a lot in a lot of other horror movies with in Halloween with Michael and Friday the 13th, their song play, right, their theme plays as like it builds up. Like, okay, this is obviously the killer's point of view. Does not happen in Scream. You only see it from the right from the character's point of view.
which makes it so it actually is scary.
Yeah, hence the name Scream. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of screaming.
There was a lot of screaming, and and when Stu I believe he does a title drop. It's a scream baby, is what he says, or or
Uh,
or or it's gonna be a scream. Yeah, yeah. Billy to scream. Yeah, Billy. Right. He monologues, and then Stu comes up with the line, "It's a scream baby," or right, which actually Matthew Lillard improvised a lot of his lines from that scene. So I find that funny.
you could, I like when a actor is able to improvise their own lines
Oh yeah,
because,
love it.
like, you got Robert Downey Jr. who makes really interesting scenes. Like, he wasn't supposed to be eating on set, but like anytime you see Iron Man eating, that's usually just Robert Downey Jr. taking snacks on set.
Yeah, that's makes such a good character when they're able to when they're able to just improvise like that and go with the flow. It really shows, right? It's more than like just the character. It's kind of just them really enjoying their role, which I do really love to see when an actor really does enjoy what they're doing. Yeah. Um, there's not really a lot that I would change other than I do a lot of plot forgetting. Like the whole base of the plot is, oh no, Sydney's dad is missing, might be the killer, which you kind of forget about at some points. There are times where I'm watching the movie and I'm like, oh wait, the dad's here? Oh right, forgot he was a character. I don't know if that's just me, but I do wish, I don't know, maybe like they kind of did more with that. It was kind of like a hanging thread until the end of the movie, which could have been the point, but I don't know, kind of just it kind of seemed very forgettable with the father supposedly missing and being one of the main suspects. That's the word I forgot.
You're supposed to be going on vacation, but later, there's a police report of a car near the party the kids are at, which
Yeah.
Dewey goes to investigate with Gail. They almost bow to Wow Wow, but they find the car, realize, wait, that's Sydney's dad's car. Then they rush back.
Yes, they all.
Because in Dewey's point of view, they think it's that the murder is here, which it is, but not.
I mean, he is, but technic yeah, he is. There is okay, there is one scene that I really love. Okay. It's the scene where Stu lets everyone out, right? And Bailey comes in to make up with Sydney, right? Right? And
Make
Stu, right? Makeup, wink, wink. And and Stu goes, "My parents' room is available," or something like that. He says some line basically cueing that his parents' room is free. And Billy goes smooth, and then he kicks, and then he kind of like,
do go smooth.
yeah, yeah, and he kind of he uses his shoulder to like or arm to like hit him, which obviously is like a whole like because Stu's being a jackass about it. Or sorry, but we can leave that. But I have to think of it is like Stu or like maybe like a cue for the plan. Like okay, initiate like the plan or something like that. It could have been like a cue or or like
It could have just
bi-
been Stu saying, "Good job, you got laid."
it could have it could have just been yeah. It could be straightforward, but you never know. It's one of those things I recommend, guys, go back and watch the movie after knowing this information. It makes things a lot more interesting. Going back knowing uh Billy and Stu that their plans, it makes things a lot more like cool. Like the beginning of the movie, Stu goes, "I'm not the killer," and starts giving all this bunch of reasons why he's not it, and then Billy's like, "Okay, man, calm down," because he's getting a little too excited with himself. Love those scenes, but yeah, not really a lot I would change for other from that. Would you like to add, Doc?